Hello and welcome to the Eternal October podcast. This is episode 11.
Yee.
We in them double digits. We're here to do a shorty today because
Shorty.
It's late and I like sleep.
That's because
And,
you waited too long.
We had that time change not long ago. You don't like it? I like it. I like that it's always earlier than it feels because I was starting to sleep pretty late. But today I woke up at like 9 something. So there's that.
I only don't like it because of reasons.
Fair enough. All right. No questions asked. What are we doing today? You don't even know. I'm
No,
gonna
I don't.
surprise you. Yeah. It's a tier list because naturally we had no time to prepare anything. But we have a few ideas in the tank. There was the one we mentioned at the end of the last episode. We didn't say what it was, but we said it would probably be this episode, and that didn't happen.
Oh, I don't even remember
Yeah, we
what
mentioned-
we teased.
We mentioned what we were going to do, but we did not end up. It's the movie that we both watched. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Oh, yeah, that. Oh, okay, now I remember. Yeah, okay.
So there's gonna be an episode like that eventually, but
It fell through.
for
Let's
now
just
we'll
put
just
it that
say
way.
it wasn't the right movie for what we're trying to do. So here we are, yes, with something simple. I didn't tell you what we're doing.
Mm-mm.
We're gonna do a looser tier list than normal. One that we can just kind of work away at. This could even go into future episodes if it's something we want to come back to.
Okay.
We're gonna do
Oh, my God, I'm nervous.
some rock bands. No, it's simple. It's easy.
Rock bands.
Rock bands. All-encompassing terminology because I don't feel... there's a lot of them that I don't feel like I am qualified to talk about. And probably neither of us are because your background's a lot more...
No, I think I'd be qualified to talk because...
I don't know. I don't think either of us are qualified enough to, say, rank the Rolling Stones.
Well, I don't like the Rolling Stones.
See, so why would we want to judge the Rolling Stones, who's agreed upon as one of the best rock bands? Obviously, two people who don't really dig them shouldn't be ranking them.
Fair.
Just be kind of silly. So we're gonna pick some bands that we at least know enough that we can talk about. Moreover, I've got the list on my phone. I just looked up most famous rock bands. And I'm going to handpick some that we can at least talk about. Because, maybe we're not big on the Rolling Stones, but I don't know much of the Rolling Stones, so I can't really defend it. I'm just that's not really my style of rock music. It's not my thing. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, F tier, just because it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But there's other bands that I've definitely heard a fair share of, and I don't like it, and I can explain to you why I don't like it. So we can talk about those ones.
Okay.
But yeah. So let's keep it simple. We'll get through about as many as we get through in the next 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
Chill episode today. And yeah, we can always come back and fill in more rock bands because there's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
As time goes on. So
we can do a dad rock tier list.
Well, I'm sure this is going to be a blend of some dad rock, some rock and roll, some old shit, some new shit, it's going to be everything. So stick around if you like any rock music. Something from some era you can appreciate might pop up. All right.
Sweet. Well, I guess let's just get into it, I guess.
Yeah, with that, I guess let's kick it off with Let's kick it off with the Foo Fighters.
Fuck yes.
This one's gonna be interesting.
Let me guess. You're not as familiar with them.
As familiar?
Well, I mean, not
what are we
familiar.
talking? How familiar are you?
I'm a fan. I'll just say
I don't think I've ever listened through a full Foo Fighters record.
interesting.
That said, yeah, of course I know the Foo Fighters, and I feel I know them enough to talk about them and to have an opinion on them.
Okay.
Of course, I'm familiar with a lot of the hits. A couple of them, for me, they really hit, you know? I think Everlong, of course,
Ugh.
is one of those songs that no matter how big it gets, no matter how much it's played, it's still a fucking respectable song that even like big Foo Fighters fans want to hear Everlong
Yep.
because it's a fucking great song.
Song never gets old.
It's just one of those, like, a lot of bands will have their big hit and you'll be, ugh, that song. No, but Everlong doesn't get old.
No.
They're like, it's the song by the Foo Fighters, and it's a great song. There's also some other ones that hit for me. I've always liked Learn to Fly quite a bit.
Oh, yes.
That one's pretty good.
I love that one.
But why don't we hear what you think about the Foo Fighters before I go much further?
Well, I'm a super fan of them. I fucking love them.
Interesting.
I love the Foo Fighters. I'll admit, I don't care to say that. I fuck with them. I love Dave Grohl. He's fucking amazing. Rest in peace to the late Taylor Hawkins. Him and Dave were obviously really big and really good friends, and sadly he passed away like I think a year ago or earlier this year or something. So, but he was a big contributor to the Foo Fighters as well, and why the sound of their music hit so hard. But what can I say? I'm gonna start going off a rant like how I do like with my other stuff. I love the Foo Fighters. They're great. Everlong, yeah. I mean, I've listened through their albums and stuff. A favorite song of mine are Times Like These, I would say. Monkey Wrench. Also, another song that I really love is what's the song? Rope.
Right.
I really love that song.
That's from Wasting Light, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Which underrated album, by the way.
No, I think it's quite rated as well. So I was just gonna get into. I think I lied. I did buy Wasting Light.
You did?
I listened to it all the way through when it came out. It was kind of my attempt to get into them. So that might sound.
Damn! You were late then.
That might sound. 2011. What was I like? 14. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went through a Nirvana thing, and I was looking for more of that shit, but obviously there wasn't more of that. But hey, Dave Grohl's got a band. So, I specifically remember trying to be stoked on the Foo Fighters and talking to my 8th grade teacher who like would talk with me about Nirvana and like some punk bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I got the Foo Fighters album. I had the Foo Fighters bracelet. And he was like, they suck. They're not the same.
What?
He was like, Foo Fighters aren't the same as Nirvana, man. And I'm pretty sure I was kind of sad, but yeah, I guess to veer off here, I don't agree with him, but I never was fully able to get into them.
Aww.
They, to me, are, unfortunately, in my opinion, a little generic as rock goes. That doesn't mean they don't have the bops. I'm looking at the hits here. I liked, just just in their Spotify top 5 here, Best of You is also pretty classic. My Hero, of course.
There goes my hero.
What's that one? All My Life.
Yeah, All My Life.
There's that. There's
The Pretender.
off of. Yeah, I was never big on that one, honestly. But yeah, it's a huge hit
Breakout.
for them. On the Wasting Light album, there's Walk, which was just featured in the
Yeah.
Thor movie
Mm-hmm.
around that time. And well, I do like that song. Foo Fighters. Yeah, I kind of picked them because to me they're like a perfect, slightly better than average rock band that I do respect, but I am by no means like in love with them. And if I'm honest, yeah, to me they land in kind of a generic area.
That's fair. I can agree with that.
That's how I feel on the whole.
Okay.
But yeah, still very much respect, of course. The band and Dave Grohl, and I have no beef with any of the members.
Mhm.
It's just not as I guess to give away thoughts on like a later band, to me, like they're no Nirvana.
Well, okay. You know what? I've never gotten this comparison before because both of their sounds are two completely different sounds. You're comparing grunge to actually like rock. Which, I mean, yeah, grunge is a subgenre of rock, but like I've never really understood that because yeah, I've always heard like, oh, Foo Fighters, like back in the early days right after Kurt passed and Dave wanted to start making music again, like that was the hate that they were getting, like they were nothing like Nirvana, and comparing them and saying like, oh yeah, fuck Dave Grohl, fuck Foo Fighters, and like all of that. Like I've never really understood that. Because this sound wise is so completely different. You have Nirvana is Nirvana, they have a distinct sound, and Foo Fighters, Dave and like the rest of them never really try to copy that. And especially Dave, like he knew what Nirvana was and how special that was. Like he would never want to emulate that, which he's talked about like in their documentary and even in his own book.
I will say I do think comparisons are warranted.
Yeah, they are, but I don't know.
Like, I'm not going to claim I don't get the comparisons. I know what I just said was a little spicy. Say, yeah, they're no Nirvana. But I also, though I think comparisons are warranted because they literally share a member and, a third of Nirvana. So to comment on the difference in quality, I think is warranted, but maybe not to expect the same type of sound.
They're two different sounds.
That said, I would mostly only draw like the comparison as far as genre to the first Foo Fighters album, the one that had Everlong on it. Like that was like that song's close enough to Nirvana to me as a 14-year-old to be like, oh, maybe this Foo Fighters thing is worth checking out. But yeah, a lot of it is very different. Anyway, that's not really what I'm going to base my rating off of or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I stopped thinking about Foo Fighters as any sort of continuation of Nirvana, like pretty much around the same time that I was 14.
Mm.
But that doesn't really change the fact that overall I was kind of disappointed. And like by being disappointed, I'm still saying like they're good. They're good. It's just you're 14, Nirvana's the best music you've ever heard, and then you check out the band Dave Grohl's in. So you're going to be like probably a little disappointed. All that all that to say, and because we should keep moving, I want to put them in the B tier because I think they're better than your average. But we gotta keep in mind there's gonna be some like fucking spicy S tier bands coming up.
I guess B is fine.
You guess B is fine?
Yeah.
All right, you don't sound too thrilled.
Well,
where would you place them?
I'd place them in A.
Okay. Then I think we'll go with B since you're willing to give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe I can be lenient for you somewhere down the line.
Okay.
we'll see how things shake
B's still
out.
not a bad spot though.
No, like C tier for me would be straight generic kind of like not bad but not good.
Yeah.
And I think Foo Fighters stick their heads out above that. All right. On to another one. Let's do another one kind of like the Foo Fighters to me.
Okay.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
We talked about this a couple days ago.
A little bit. We talked about one of their songs because we were watching Pat Finnerty. Shout out.
Yo.
The guy who does the What Makes This Song Stink series on YouTube. I don't know what happened to him. He hasn't uploaded in like half a year.
Life probably
That
happens.
sucks. He's pretty cool. I like him. So Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think you've known me long enough that I've probably said some out of pocket shit here and there.
Yeah, you have.
I have never
Which I
been
enjoy.
a fan of this band. And I
Fair.
don't know if you are either.
I told you when we talked about this, but to be fair, yeah. I used to like them. I was never really obsessed with them. I mean, yeah, I knew their hits like Danny California and like that one song where he kind of sounds like he's rapping. I forget what that song is.
Wait. Is that Danny California?
No, it's not Danny California.
Oh, are you talking about Give It Away?
Yeah, Give It Away.
Man, I hate that song.
I was obsessed with that song when I was 12.
I know I'm losing music critic cred saying I hate that song, but I just do. It was on Rock Band 2. You didn't have to... I realize it's a shallow reason to be annoyed at it, but it was one of those songs where you didn't ever have to actually sing because all the lyrics were like, oh, just say it, just talk it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just sit there in my mic and go,
oh my God.
I get like 100% on the vocals.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because if there was
You
no
tricked
like
the system.
if there was no real melody to sing, it just gave you the points for vocalizing. Honestly, we hated that song so much we used to just turn the we had the TV blasting,
And when it came to that,
we
you
just
just turn
turned
it
the
down.
mic around and like put it in front of the speaker, and just like the TV hit all the notes for us.
Lol. That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to be like really into that song, and like, yeah, I'm like, I was familiar with their singles and stuff. Listen to other like, I guess like non-singles of theirs. Don't really remember the songs off the top of my head, but yeah. But I was never really obsessed with them.
Anthony Kiedis is a famous bullshit lyricist.
Yeah.
He just says a bunch of really dumb shit as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does write some meaningful stuff in there. Like they're the same as the Foo Fighters for me because I don't really know them beyond the hits. And also in that I did try to get into them once. I bought I think I tried twice. I think I've tried with Stadium Arcadium and with By the Way. And neither of them hit. Like I always liked the chorus of By the Way because it's like standing in line to get the show. It's like it's catchy. By the way, I try to say, and then it goes and it's like bop bop, and I was like, I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of that. Like as soon as it kicks out of that like catchy chorus, I'm not down with it. I don't know. I guess I'm not into the funky kind of shit they do sometimes.
I like Flea.
I like Flea.
Yeah, I fuck
Yeah.
with Flea.
Who
He-
doesn't like Flea? He was
Yeah.
in The Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him once inside like a barber shop. I was
Oh,
like,
wait, really?
yeah, I was like outside the window. I looked in and Flea's in there, and I was like, oh shit. And we didn't bother him or anything, but
Yeah.
we were kind of just sitting outside the window, like hoping he would walk by.
Oh, that's fucking cool. I love that.
He seems like cool, and he's definitely a great bass player.
Yeah, I know. He really is.
They have some good melodies. I'll give them that. Like,
No, they do.
you
Yeah.
can't take that away. Like I just said, I love the melody for the chorus. And by the way,
Mm-hmm.
I just can't really do the rest of the song. And like, I'm really surprised that Under the Bridge is their biggest song.
Oh, yeah. Under the Bridge. I forgot about that.
Because I never heard that song until like a couple years ago.
Oh, really? Damn.
Well, I didn't think I knew it, and then I just noticed that it plays a lot on like the radio.
Yeah, like the classic rock radio and all that. Yeah.
It was some like Mandela effect shit where like once it started playing, or once I like knew about the song, I started hearing it all the time. Like I realized that it's always playing. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird that one's a big hit because it's such like it feels kind of like an underdeveloped song to me.
I haven't even heard the song in so long, but from what I
don't ever want to feel.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I did
I feel like
that
it never
day.
like pops off. It never like goes where
That's
I feel
their
like it
emo
should.
song.
It's weird because it's off of one of their early albums.
Yeah.
I wanted to say like their first album, but it's actually their fifth album. They didn't really pop off until that fifth album.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was never really obsessed with them. I liked them and stuff, like got into them like around middle school and all of that. So yeah. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older, like I think like out of high school at that point. I kind of like I was like, you know what? I'm kind of over them because I had a lot of their songs on a playlist of mine on my Spotify. It's one of my main playlists that I listen to, and their songs would always fucking
About
pop up.
California.
Yeah, dude, the amount of times that they sing about California, man, like, goddamn. But anyways, yeah, no, their songs would always fucking pop up, and they would never play any of my other fucking songs that I had. So I was like, you know what? I'm sick of them. And plus, I got older, and like, I'm like, you know what? Like, this music, like, is not. Well, their music in particular just doesn't hit for me.
It's not it.
Yeah,
Well-
so I kind of just grew out of them.
Yeah, we were watching Pat Finnerty talk about
Mhm.
why Danny California stinks, which
Yeah.
is funny because like I'll come out.
He brought up a lot
I
of
like
good
the
points.
chorus of that song. I like always liked the chorus of that song.
Yeah.
I think it's catchy. The rest of it sure does stink. But but yeah, California, rest in peace. And, of course he's singing about California. Just one of those
You
things.
can play a drinking game with their fucking music. Anytime Anthony mentions California, take a shot.
This is true. Then we've got the song Californication, which
Yeah, everyone knows that song.
it's all right.
Everyone and their grandmother knows that song.
Can't stop it. I'm looking at their top 5 right now. Scar Tissue Data. I never understood why that
Oh,
one's
Scar
so big.
Tissue, yeah.
Or See You on the Other Side. Or Take It on the Other. I don't know
Yeah.
what the lyrics are. And then they got the fucking Hey-O, Listen What I Say-O.
Ayo. Something,
I always thought-
something, ayo.
Yeah, I always thought that was such like garbage lyrics that I couldn't get down with the rest of it. But I don't know. They can create kind of a vibe that's just like, yeah, why not like background music?
Mhm.
C tier band. I don't think they're bad. I just think they're generic. What about you?
I'm fine with C.
Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Plus, Anthony Kiedis is not a good person, anyways.
I
He
don't know
dated a
about that.
16-year-old.
That's weird.
He admitted it in his book.
RHCP. That doesn't. I think Maddie likes this book.
Yeah, I know. She's mentioned it to me before.
Interesting. Well, let's not get hung up on that. Let's go into
the next band.
All right, let's do a newer one.
A newer one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Maybe I'll hold off on that one.
Okay.
Let's do Black Sabbath. What's the laugh for? What do you think of Black Sabbath?
No, nothing. I like Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath's good.
I like Black Sabbath too.
Fuck yeah.
Do you want to kick it off or do you want me to?
I don't know how to kick it off. You can kick it off. You kick the ball.
Well, I kind of did grow up on them because my dad had some of their music.
Nice.
Couple CDs. And yeah, of course I always wanted to listen to Black Sabbath because metal was cool when I was a kid. And I'd heard that Iron Man riff and
oh yeah.
And yeah, so I would listen to mostly kind of just the hits again, but there's some cool stuff in there that I also heard, like The Wizard.
Oh, nice.
That one's pretty cool. But yeah, of course, Iron Man, War Pigs.
Yep.
War Pigs is awesome song.
War Pigs is like probably like one of my favorite songs. That or Children of the Grave. Or, self-titled Black Sabbath.
Yes. We've got Sweet Leaf. The one that starts with the coughing.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I haven't listened to Black Sabbath in quite some time, but...
Paranoid.
Yeah, I was just about to mention, Paranoid. That's like their biggest.
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
They got some fucking songs, dude.
They're a good band. Ozzy, What's Not to Love?
Evil Woman's another good song.
Yeah, I always had like some friends who were into Ozzy's like solo career. And for me it was just always about Black Sabbath.
Oh, you didn't watch the Osbournes on MTV?
No.
I did.
I absolutely did not.
I fucked with that show when I was younger. Dude, I fucking love that show. I wish it was like somewhere like on streaming or anything, but
I meant his solo music career though.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
No, I like his solo stuff too.
So, yeah, I was never able to get as into it, but I was, everyone knows Crazy Train. Mr. Crowley's a good song. Mr. Crowley's a very good song.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking through and, oh, shit. Yeah, I guess that Paranoid was just a great album for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, like, all three of those huge hits came from. And, I don't know, because I'm not, brushed up on my metal trivia, but as far as I always heard growing up, this band created metal itself.
Yeah.
They're up there.
They are.
Even if it's not a band that I typically will listen to, as of today. They deserve the respect and appreciation. I don't know. They gotta be at least an A tier. Wouldn't you say?
I was thinking S.
You're thinking S. Interesting.
Well, hey, dude, they started it all.
They started metal.
Yeah, and they also started the whole craze too at that time.
They're not a personal S, but I could give them an S. I could give them an S
You gotta give them an S for Sabbath.
being Black Sabbath. All right, yeah, we can do it.
They're one of the fucking literally like the greatest metal bands. People still talk about them to this day.
Black Sabbath.
Very influential, in my opinion.
Well, of course. Yeah, all right. I put them in the S tier. At
Hell
the very
yeah.
least, War Pigs is an S tier song.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
So let's do another metal band then. Metallica.
Ha! Oh, jeez.
So you probably know my feelings on Metallica because I got a big mouth.
Yeah.
No, I've never liked Metallica. But they're very popular.
Oh, yeah. Definitely was popular in my household because my mom was a huge, well, I mean, she still is. She's a very huge Metallica fan. So at a very young age, I definitely listened to all of that. She was really into them. I do growing up. Obviously, yeah, because I grew up with it because my mom. I was a fan, but obviously when I got older and started getting more involved with the music, getting into other bands at that time, they never really like were a favorite of mine. Especially now, they're definitely now not so great. But you know what? I can say like their first probably like their first three, four, like those albums still fucking are good. They still fucking are great. But
I don't
yeah,
mind
they kind of went downhill pretty fast.
I don't mind them as much when they, slow down and put some effort into the songwriting.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel. But just like their straight thrashy shit, like full albums of thrash,
you don't like.
it doesn't do anything for me.
Okay.
Songs like Battery, like that one's a big like song for them, I guess. But
so you don't like Kill 'Em All?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, interesting.
Or
okay.
like, Master of Puppets, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, like I preferred Enter Sandman because it had a melody. Now I don't really, care about that song either, but growing up I kind of liked that one.
I always liked how he says poopits.
Poopits.
Yeah, poopits.
Master of Poopits. Nothing Else Matters. See, that's like one of their slower ones too, huh?
From whom the bell tolls.
There's that one.
Da, 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 da.
Well, am I wrong? How does Nothing Else Matters? Oh shit! Fuck you, Spotify. I'm taking a little refresher. Yeah, it's one of their prettier ones. And Nothing Else Matters. Not bad. Even One. That song's not
One.
terrible.
Dude, you know what? That song is a fucking banger. I haven't listened to that song in quite some time, but I know how it goes. Fucking hits. I won't lie about that.
Now the world is gone. Yeah.
The song is like two different songs, but like one full combined.
Yeah.
Because the song, how the song originally starts is so completely different to what the song enters into, which is pretty cool.
But overall, generally speaking, no, I'm not into Metallica, and they've got a lot of albums. A lot of it is not for me. And I can appreciate some metal, which is why I think we're going to talk about this. Because I just decidedly am not a fan of Metallica.
Sure. Yeah, I was never really obsessed or crazed. Like, there's an old friend of mine that from high school, she's like crazily obsessed with them. It's one of her favorite bands. Pretty much people that I was like friends with, like growing up, like getting into like metal and all that. People always talked about Metallica. And I do fuck with their like their earlier sound, like with the thrashing and all that. Like that's I fuck with that a lot more than like obviously to what they went into. But yeah, those earlier albums, man, they fucking go hard. I fucking love them. But yeah, I was never really like obsessed with them compared to like a lot of people I was growing up with and stuff. But yeah.
So even when it comes to what we do like, we kind of we differentiate.
Yeah.
Which,
But I think we're still on par with like the songs that you mentioned I do like. So
just some of the hits, and then
Yeah.
I've heard like their general sound on an album like Master of Puppets and Justice for All, stuff like that.
yeah,
And,
those songs still and those
Ride the
albums are still
Lightning,
good.
is that-
Yeah. Yeah, Thunder and Lightning. That's where from whom the bell tolls is on.
Yeah. I don't know. Where do you want to put it? Them. Because for me, they've got to be, we got to be like, Foo Fighters was above the average generic.
Mm-hmm.
I think Metallica is the average generic for me.
I was thinking D.
D.
Yeah.
So below Red Hot Chili Peppers. Because I was going to put them with the Chili Peppers.
Oh, with the Chili Peppers?
In the C tier. But you think they're worse?
Hmm.
'Cause I thought you liked them more than me. I'm not going to say no to that, but I thought you would want to stick up for them a little bit.
Well, we're talking about old shit, yeah, but
No, we're talking about
collectively as a
all of it.
whole, yeah, and especially with their newer stuff that they're doing now, yeah, D.
D tier.
Their newest album got like along with their other albums, but definitely this one I saw a lot of people say like, yeah, dude, they just keep getting worse.
All right, I'm happy to put them in the D tier.
Yeah, so
D is where I would have put them right off the bat. But
Yeah,
I felt like I had to justify my position a little bit.
yeah, no, you're good. I feel like a lot of people will be okay with us putting Metallica in D.
All right.
What's the next one?
Another one you've probably heard me, Should we keep doing all these ones you've heard me talk about?
I
Or
don't
should
mind.
we spice it up a little?
I don't. Up to you. I don't have a.
All right, let's just
Yeah.
do this one. I'm hoping it'll be quick and we can move on.
Okay.
AC/DC.
Ah!
This is one of my least favorite bands ever. I
Oh,
fucking
God.
hate AC/DC. I think
I don't
they
really have-
suck.
I mean, I like their hits when getting into their music and stuff, but aside from that, like, yeah, like they fell off for me like very quickly.
To me, and
And-
like, I'm not like generally the person to say this, but it all sounds the same. I gotta
Yeah,
say
no, you're
it.
not wrong. It does.
I gotta say it's all the same beat. It's
Yeah.
all the same vocals. It's always a like,
Yeah.
like oh my. They fucking suck. I'm sorry. I don't know. They're an F. They're an F for me.
F?
Yeah.
Yo.
they're absolutely-
Okay.
This is one of my least favorites.
Interesting. Well, now you're gonna get the fucking dads pissed off.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There was a time that I didn't hate them. I thought they were cool when I was like 8. I really liked TNT because it was
Oh yeah, that
it was
yeah.
in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
Mhm.
4 soundtrack. And if there's a song by them that I'm still partial to, it's that song. But
That's a good
I
one.
never liked another one of their songs. It just didn't happen. Yeah, nah. Back in Black.
Oh, but you know what? Black to Black is pretty good.
Every song sounds like that.
That's the song that they use for Monster Truck Mondays.
I know Jack Black likes that song.
Yeah.
There's some like Nickelodeon promo where it was Jack Black and that song.
I remember.
I think it was like for Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah. It was a promo segment.
Anyway, yeah, they're straight up an F tier for me.
That's so funny.
What about you?
I really don't have an opinion, so you can place
No?
them in F. Yeah, I
Alright,
don't give
yeah.
a fuck.
Sorry, hey. Kind of fucking just.
Yeah, like I
hate
said,
'em.
like aside from their hits, like that when I was getting into them, like that's all I knew. And yeah, I never really dwelled into like any of their like non-singles. And like I said, yeah, they fell off pretty quickly for me. So, yeah. Pretty forgettable in my opinion then.
Right. I guess
What's the next one?
you know what? I don't know. Let's do The Cure.
I love them.
Let's do a different type of rock here for a second.
Yay! I love them. I love The Cure.
I also love The Cure. What I've heard of them.
Robert Smith is a genius.
Yeah. Again, haven't heard enough of that, like as much as I could have of them.
What?
No.
You haven't heard enough?
No.
This is news. I thought you did. I've been
So,
fooled.
You know, of course I know the hits. And I've listened to Disintegration in full several times. But beyond that, like I haven't done a full deep dive into the discography. Admittedly, like some of like the earlier stuff I tried was feeling like a bit samey to me. Like I needed to maybe go back to it
Their earlier
and
stuff?
try it again. Yeah. I remember like I love Disintegration. I tried like Pornography. I know that's supposed to be, you know, one of their best.
Yeah, I love Pornography.
But it was feeling a little samey to me, at least compared to Disintegration.
Interesting.
And then I know, like, you know, the earlier stuff gets more kind of interesting as well. Different vibe on, like, the first few albums with, like, Boys Don't Cry and
Yeah.
songs like that. Totally different from kind of where they ended up.
So you're not really familiar like with 17 Seconds.
No, because I don't know if that's a song or an album.
It's in their second album.
So, no, I am not.
Interesting.
For me, The Cure, my knowledge of The Cure is the hits and Disintegration for the most part. And and I know that some of the other stuff started to feel a little too samey to me. And I felt like I have to revisit it. I still feel like I have to revisit it and give it like another shot. But definitely a Cure fan. I want to see The Cure play.
Yeah, same.
I'm
I
not
fucking love them.
not talking shit on The Cure. That's for sure. Great band.
Yeah, no, I love them. My favorite song is A Forest. That's like my number one favorite song. I even got Maddie into the song and she loves that song.
She loves the band too, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can all agree they're pretty awesome.
That's like my favorite song. I don't really have anything to say about The Cure because it's already been said about them.
Robert Smith, yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm very familiar with their I'm more obviously familiar with them than you, I guess, but yeah, no. I fucking love them. All their songs I have like pretty much all their songs on my liked. So, yeah. I think they're fucking great. To place, I want to say S, but that's my bias.
I know you want. That's what I'm
So
scared
I'm thinking
about.
A.
I want to put them in A.
Yeah.
That's what I'm scared about with some of these bands. I'm like, I know you're gonna be super passionate about some of them, especially as we get to like newer bands.
Okay, I'm nervous.
So I want us to keep the bias to a minimum.
Hey, you know what? Since we've done these tier lists, my bias has actually been pretty great. Let's just say.
We're putting The Cure in A tier, and yeah, I guess while we're here, yeah, whatever. While we're here, let's do the Smiths.
Ugh.
See, this is the problem. Because that's your attitude towards the Smiths, but I believe that that's a bias because you hate Morrissey. And I hate Morrissey, but the Smiths...
Okay,
the Smiths fuck.
Okay, I've explained this to you, like, outside of this. I would never really was a Smiths fan to begin with. Like, I just knew of their hits, and that's pretty much it. I never really got into them fully. I was more of The Cure because I actually grew up listening to them because I had an uncle who was like one of my uncles like was really into rock and all of that. His music was very subjective, and so listening to them growing up. So yeah, I never really grew up on the Smiths. I didn't get into them until like I was 16 when I started getting into their music, and at that point it just never really hit for me.
You're finding out about Morrissey.
Well, yeah, I got into them, and then really I think like the only song I like by them truly that I really like is Time Is Now. Other than that, I never really could.
What song is that?
What is it? Is it Time something?
How Soon Is Now?
Oh yeah, How Soon Is Now, not Time. Oh my God.
It's a great song.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the only song I like by them. But yeah, and then I obviously found out that Morrissey's a fucking piece of shit, and I was like, okay.
I think as a band with given their catalog, their hits, they're straight up, they're with The Cure to me. I mean, and I feel like a lot of people feel like that. I know obviously you don't feel like that, but I don't really pick a band when it comes to the Smiths and The Cure, because honestly, if anything, I listen more to the Smiths, but
blasphemy.
The Cure is much more easy to respect because they have Robert Smith and not Morrissey.
I just think sound-wise, The Cure is so much better than the Smiths.
See, I don't agree.
Yeah, see, I've always been like that. I
definitely don't agree with that. I'm not going to say the Smiths are better either, but like they kind of do similar things but definitely differently, which isn't helping much. They have kind of a different approach to just like kind of sad music.
No, they definitely do.
And I like what Morrissey does a lot because it's really melodic stuff and it's really fun to sing.
No, it's the music's very like melodramatic and all that.
Yeah, and Robert Smith has usually more of a kind of yelpy kind of like also melodramatic in a way, like delivery that he does that oftentimes is, at least in my experience, it's less melodic and more doing something else, like kind of like Bright Eyes. You wouldn't say like Bright Eyes has a bunch of like strong melodies. It's more about the delivery and like he's doing something unique.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Robert Smith and The Cure. Morrissey is coming through with these fucking melodies and this voice, and like it does something else for me.
See, I think that's probably why I could never get into his voice.
Oh man, his voice for
I think that's really what comes down to it for me. I never got into his voice. Everyone's always talking, oh, he has such a beautiful voice. I'm just like, really though?
Well, at first I thought I didn't like his voice when I first heard it, and I thought it was really kind of weird, and I was like, why people like this? And I can't really explain why. It was just like, you know, when I first heard Markiplier's voice, I thought it was weird. But everyone loves his voice. Ironically, like they both have like this kind of lower, kind of like hello. I don't know.
I think Mark's voice is a lot more lower, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess lost my train of thought. I totally came around on Morrissey's voice, and I do love his voice. On the Smith stuff, at least. I couldn't really get into his. I mean, from what I've heard, some of his solo career is pretty good, but obviously, it's like the Smith stuff that I'm more into, and they definitely work as like a lot of it's Johnny Marr, and everyone knows that. He's his guitar parts, like his creativity with like the atmosphere of the songs on a lot of the Smiths stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people like kind of undersell how much Andy Rourke, and I don't know the drummer's name right now. But yeah, I think they all did something, and mostly Morrissey and Marr get all the credit, but I guess I'm rambling at this point. They're also A with me.
You want to put them in A?
I do. I want to put them right next to The Cure.
That's fine.
Because I think, yeah, even if you put aside personal bias, I think like we can both agree that they've achieved this status. And most people are going to err on the side of The Cure because they're not, like, you know, there's no Morrissey in that band.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people who are still a huge Smiths fan to this day, so I don't think that really concludes. But yeah, no, I don't know. It just never hit for me. I really can't like pinpoint exactly like what it is, but I mean, hey, I'm not gonna just because it's not my thing. I know that their music is very influential and has like helped a lot of people, so I'm not gonna knock on that and their influence that they had. So I mean, I still see people talk about them to this day, despite fucking Morrissey. But yeah, I know their music has reached a lot of people, and so I'm not gonna fucking hate on that. I'm gonna be stupid too. So
Not gonna take that away. And yeah, you know, I'm just glad I
just not my
do
personal
appreciate
taste,
both and don't feel the
yeah.
need to pick a side between The Cure and the Smiths. All right, that out of the way.
What's the next one?
Let's do like 2 or 3 more quickly. Let's do a newer one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do All right. This is going to test the bias here in this room. Linkin Park.
You tested me.
Yeah, I'm testing you. This is one that I was going to bring up earlier, and I was like, I don't know that I can trust you with the bias.
Nah,
here.
you can trust me with this.
So, you know, obviously,
Well,
obviously they're personal S tier for you.
I wouldn't put them in S.
At least Chester would be.
If we're talking vocalists, yeah.
Yeah.
Vocalists. If this was a vocalist, yes, he'd be an S. Well, without a doubt, no questions asked.
Right.
I'd take the pen out of your hand and write his name in S tier. But yeah, no. I mean, I talked about them already before and on a previous episode of ours, but yes, I am a Linkin Park girly. So I love them. Their music, they were definitely one of the few growing up bands that were very influential and helped me through a lot of things. So yeah, I really there's nothing to say that hasn't already been said about Linkin Park, and obviously Chester and all of that, but definitely left a huge mark for me and for a lot of other people. So I love their fucking music. Wasn't a huge fan of some of their newer stuff before Chester passed, but I think I don't think the hate that they got was necessarily deserved, and especially with their last album, I think that album they were trying to get back into what back into their old sound. But yeah, no. I fucking love them. How about you?
I like the first 3 albums.
Interesting. Okay.
So I feel like their fan base, a lot of them kind of have the Weezer complex where they only like the first 2 albums because then they did Minutes to Midnight and there wasn't as much rapping, and all the new metal fans were like, what the fuck? I mean, there was still some of that, but yeah, people, their signature sound was definitely Hybrid Theory, and of course Meteora.
Yeah.
And those are 2 pretty good albums. Personally, I think I've always preferred Meteora, and I think many prefer Hybrid Theory. But to me, Meteora aged more gracefully.
I like,
personally.
if we're talking about like their first 3 albums alone, I like all 3. I don't really have a favorite because all of them hit, and they're so distinctly like, well, Hybrid Theory and Meteora, they kind of go hand in hand because it's very similar. I feel like those 2 albums, there's like one whole album within its own. And then you got Minutes to Midnight, where it kind of drifted off into their new metal sound. But I love their first 3 albums I fuck with. I listen to those first 3 albums still to this day. So
I remember they went too heavily into the electronics.
Yeah.
On the 4th album.
Is that?
I can picture the cover, but I can't remember the name.
Hold on, I have it. I'll pull it
Thousand
up.
Suns.
Yeah.
So,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I remember, I was probably alone with this, but I remember hearing The Catalysts.
That's a good song.
And being very disappointed.
What? No, that's one of my favorites off that album.
As a kid who was really, really into Linkin Park, anticipating their next album, I heard that and I was like, oh no. I didn't like it.
No.
It was
another one.
Too electronic for me, I think. Like, I was very against that kind of sound at that age. I was very closed off to it. And I believe that if I went back and actually gave a good, healthy listen to each of those albums that came out after Minutes to Midnight, I could probably find some stuff to appreciate. It probably still, there would be a lot of stuff in there that isn't for me, just being real, but I'm sure I could find more to appreciate. And I definitely do appreciate a song like The Catalyst more now. I think, like, yeah, it's a pretty anthemic tune.
It is.
I think it's good.
It's good.
But I was definitely disappointed when I heard it when I was young.
Yeah. So were a lot of people at that time because, yeah, Thousand Suns, that's where a lot of fans actually started leaving.
It is not what I wanted from them. And I know a lot of people were also disappointed with Minutes to Midnight, but I was pretty big on that one.
That's interesting because at that time when that album came out, I remember a lot of people talking about how fucking good that album was, but I guess I didn't see that side. So, I mean, I'm not... that's interesting. I didn't even realize there was beef with that album because everyone, when that album came out, everyone was talking about how fucking good it was. At least the people I was with, so I don't know.
I would listen to that one, Minutes to Midnight, like the full CD.
Ugh, Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I love that song.
I love
people
that.
actually specifically hated that song.
What?
I don't know if you knew, but like, yeah, I remember.
I had no... What the fuck? That's like one of my favorite songs by them.
And you know what? I kind of agree with you. Like, I love that song.
I've always loved that song.
It took a while for that to like stand out to me, but like one time a few years back, I was just like in the mood to hear that song, and I was like, "This is one of their best songs."
No, it is. That if I had to say, that's like probably my number one.
And I just listened through it over and over, and I was like, "This is the shit."
Yeah.
Also, I'd randomly get the urge to listen to like "Shadow of the Day," which a lot of people weren't into that one at the time either.
That was a single off the album too.
And people were kind of disappointed by it, but I like that song too.
Song
it's a simple
still makes me cry.
It's a simple song, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan still of those first 3 albums.
Yeah.
Where would I put them on this list? So culturally, they're responsible in a way for a lot of really shitty music, unfortunately.
To be fair, I don't think that's granted. I don't think that's fair to put the blame on them because at that time,
they're responsible in the way that like Rage Against the Machine is responsible for Limp Bizkit.
I mean, I guess.
And Rage Against the Machine, I forget who, but one of the members of that band was like, "We're sorry for influencing Limp Bizkit." I think that's so funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, it to be frank, there's pretty much nothing else in this genre that I like or that I would call good music. Linkin Park kind of is the one that transcends all that shit, and they also kind of like got the credit for it.
Yeah.
So good for them. I don't know. I think they're a B tier. Lauren just made a face at me, but hey, that's right there next to the Foo Fighters. So I don't. That's no small task. That's a good spot.
I'm a little shook.
I know you are, but I'm setting aside bias.
That was like a dagger going through my heart.
I'm setting aside bias as a fan, and as someone who agrees. They're my childhood, and I do still really appreciate some of their stuff. But I'm trying to be as fair as possible because we're gonna hit some bands. We already hit a band that we put in the S tier.
I was thinking A, but I guess B is fine.
I know you're thinking A. I'm gonna insist on B, and then
B's fine, I guess.
we'll do what 2 more that are gonna be quick.
Okay, that was pretty quick, yeah. But no, I love Linkin Park.
We're gonna do some bands that I have less to say about, and then we're gonna close this one off for the day.
Yee.
So let's do the Ramones.
The Ramones. Let's go.
Why don't you go?
Me?
'Cause I don't know if we've ever talked about the Ramones.
No, I don't think we have. I don't know what to really say.
Well, do you like them?
When I was getting into them, I can admit, I'll say now, I didn't understand why.
You didn't get the hype.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't tell my friends this back in high school. I was like, yeah, I love the Ramones, but behind closed doors, I was like, what?
Well, you're safe on this couch because I definitely think they're overrated.
Yeah. I mean, at other punk bands at the time, along with the Ramones, I fuck with those punk bands a lot more than the Ramones.
The Clash, like I'm sure we'll get there eventually.
If anything, if I had to choose between the Ramones or the Clash,
It's the Clash.
Yeah, it's the Clash, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, we're not at the Clash. We're not gonna get there today, but
that could be another day. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't hate the Ramones, but
yeah, I don't hate them.
Definitely do not know that they deserve all the hype and praise that they get.
Well, yeah, because I remember like getting into like punk and all of that. Like I hearing like like the Ramones at the time like started the punk in the scene out in New York. Come to find out that it wasn't even them that started it all. I forgot which band it was, but Ramones took credit because I guess I forget the story, but like Ramones ended up taking the credit because they're the ones I think that like blew up within the scene of New York, but they weren't actually the one to set it. It was some other band, and I forget who it was. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but
yeah, I'm not well versed enough to make any claims about this, but I'm just gonna say like musically they're fine, but like they're like they're like the AC/DC of punk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
They're
honestly,
super fucking samey. Every song sounds the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot better of a sound than AC/DC to my ears, but it's still just the same thing over and over. And it's kind of grating. If you like want to sit there and listen to the Ramones for like an hour, you're going to be like, Jesus Christ. Did they have another song?
Well, yeah, because what other singles do they have aside from that one song?
Yeah, Blitzkrieg Bop. Yeah.
Or whatever, how it fucking goes.
I Want to Be Sedated.
Oh.
24 hours ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think like Sheena Is a Punk Rocker.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I do kind of like that song, but
I you know, I don't need a rehash. I just think that they're just
okay.
Fine. Which to me screams C tier because it's in the middle. They're mid. I want to put them in the C tier.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really have an opinion.
Cool. All right.
I won't argue.
This pen.
I thought you were going to put them in D.
It wouldn't be that hard of a sell to get them in D for me, but they're one of those bands that I think culturally and like personally I respect a little more than some of these like shittier rock and roll bands.
Yeah, fair.
It's just like they're nothing special to me.
Okay. Yeah.
They never have stood out as you would expect, in my opinion. So
it always gave me pop rock, punk vibes than like actually like full on punk. Which they always had like a poppier sound in their music, which I found very interesting considering the time.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, fucking let's go out on. We did a newer one. We did an old punk band. Let's go out on just a big old popular band. What do we got? One that isn't going to be so obvious, hopefully.
Try to spice it up.
Yeah, now I'm trying to walk myself back because I'm like, I don't know if we have a band like that. Let's do fucking Fuck it. Let's do Queen.
Queen.
Huge band.
Okay.
Huge band. And I don't know what you think of them.
I like Queen.
I would say I like Queen too.
They were definitely a band that I grew up listening to in my household when I was younger. My mom was a huge Queen fan.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Queen. They're a hits band. They're not really an album band. The hits are like far superior to the album experience, in my opinion. And I am saying that based off of the only album I heard, so take that with a grain of salt.
Which album is that? The main one? The white one?
The main one? No. It's not the one with Bohemian Rhapsody on it.
Because that's their rock opera album.
Let me see which one it was. No, it was the one that has Show Must Go On.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to look it up. I actually listened to it as required listening for one of the other podcasts I did, where I was recommended. Where is it? Innuendo. That's what it was.
Mm.
And even the person who recommended me this album hit me with this take that Queen is a singles band, not an album band.
Interesting. I could see that.
And yeah, I also could definitely see that, because you even had to say, like, you know, that White Album.
Yeah, Night at the Opera.
Yeah. But, like, you're not going to talk about, like, Nirvana and be like, oh, the one with the baby. You know it's called Nevermind. And you know, like, exactly what the cover is. Queen doesn't have that, like, iconic one album, in my opinion. And there's a reason for that. It's because they're known for the hits. They're not known for, like, a specific album.
I know their first album. It's the picture of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Night at the Opera, and then the green one. I always forget the green album.
There's one with a giant on it. Or something.
Oh, News of the World. That's what it is. Oh, didn't mean to play. I didn't mean to play it, sorry.
Yeah, News of the World, and, you know.
But, not trying to get
So,
copies.
you're talking about Queen 2, I think. This
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
with the
that
four
one.
of them. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how helpful this discussion has been, but yeah, they're definitely hits, man. You know them for Don't Stop Me Now, Bohemian Rhapsody.
We will rock you.
Yep.
Everyone knows that because we all did that at lunch, banging our hands on the table.
Under Pressure.
I love that song.
Fucking. Yeah, another one bites
having
the
a
dust.
good time, having a good time. Do, 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 do. I love that. Don't Stop Me Now.
And yeah, The Show Must Go On. The hits hit, and there's a long list of them.
I want to break free. I love that song too.
And obviously they're famous because of the man.
Well, fuck, they're famous. I mean, yeah, because a lot of people were digging their music, but also Freddie Mercury's influence.
Yeah.
He was fucking great. Rip.
I can't give the best, I can't sum up Queen in the best way like a super fan would or anything. But I definitely think they deserve the respect that they get.
No, they definitely do. A lot of people trash on them.
I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. It seems to be like a newer thing
Really? Because I remember growing up, a lot of people would talk mad shit about Queen.
It's
And I
pretty
never
crazy.
really understood why, because I think, I mean, hey, I mean, to be fair, they never really classified, in hell, even Freddie himself had, like, never even, like, classified themselves, like, as, like, a full-on rock band. They always agreed on wanting to change up their sound, wanting to do different things, and the band was okay with that. But, of course, people at that time and in the scene and obviously all that, like, thought they were selling out because of pop and all of that, but...
I don't know. I think you know, they got the cliches, the
Yeah.
most I just saw like Bohemian Rhapsody has like over 2 billion plays on Spotify. It's pretty crazy.
That song's fucking good. You can't deny.
Yeah, it's kind of like Everlong in that way that, you know, I don't think you're going to find anyone who says it's like, oh god, this song. Like, no, it's
The song's fucking
it's
good.
still to be celebrated.
Yeah. I fuck with that song. I love that song. I don't care.
It's still a wonderful song. It's fun to sing. It's just
The song gets memed on a lot,
it's
but
great all around. Like, yeah, if you want to meme on some song that we're tired of hearing, do like Don't Stop Believing or something. But like
Fuck
Bohemian
Journey.
Rhapsody, it still hits.
have you seen those videos of Freddie Mercury and they like clip songs from like Queen's catalog and all this? I'm going to have to show you some videos, but they're really fucking funny.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll show you them later, but so where do you want to place?
As far as significance, they're obviously up there.
Yeah.
I want to say as far as influence as well, but they're honestly like, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think they were ever like a bunch of Queen clones. They were kind of like one of a kind.
Yeah, they really were. And they're still, I mean, yeah, with Freddie gone and stuff, they're still touring and doing stuff. They got I don't know, you probably don't, but they have Adam Lambert who fills in for Freddie's. And he was a American Idol contestant, and he's a huge Queen fan. And he did like a cover song of theirs, and the band really liked what he did, so they like kind of like wanted him to join in within the band. And since then, that's what they do. They tour and everything. They and everything like that.
I was aware of that, and I've heard it's good.
Yeah, Adam. I like Adam Lambert. He's a favorite artist of mine. But yeah, no, and he sings Freddie's parts really fucking good. Like, it sounds exactly like him. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, no. They were never really understood the hate. I remember growing up, everyone always talking like, "Oh, Queen, like they're not rock or anything like that." But it's like,
I only ever heard praise for this band.
that's crazy. I heard the opposite growing up.
I heard so much to like at a point to the point that I thought they were overrated when I was growing up because I was just closed off to anything that wasn't punk rock. So
That's funny.
so I didn't like Queen when I first heard them either. And of course, as I grew up and opened up to more styles, it's like, yeah, you can't deny what Queen was doing on some of their best stuff.
Yeah. Freddie Mercury was just a fucking genius of it, though.
Definitely awesome performers, great hits.
Radio Gaga, hello.
I wish they had like an album that kind of stood out amongst the others.
A Night at the Opera is the one that pretty much gets talked about because
it's got Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, and a few other songs, a few other singles off that album, but yeah, that album really is influential in their catalog. And a lot of rock bands and like all that stuff like have referenced that album alone. So I don't know. Very influential.
I would honestly, I would go A, and I know you're thinking S.
No, I was thinking A.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We're like, again, if we were doing vocalists, yeah, Freddie Mercury, S.
If we were doing vocalists, yeah.
Next to Chester.
But yeah, they're pretty they're hard A tier for me.
Yeah, no, I think Queen being an A is pretty fair.
So we got through a handful of bands. We do our talking. We even went longer than I wanted to, but you know, we got some bands in.
I think it was a pretty solid list.
So yeah, we could come back to this one down the line, hold on to this list, and just put some new bands on it later. Because yeah, there's a lot of big ones we didn't get to. Nirvana, the Beatles.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch that we didn't.
Part 2 will be coming soon in the near future.
Eventually, we'll get there, but we'll take breaks and do other stuff in between. So let's recap what we have then in the S tier. Interestingly enough, Black Sabbath. And then A tier, The Cure, The Smiths, and Queen. B tier, Foo Fighters and Linkin Park. C tier, Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Ramones. D tier, Metallica. And F tier, AC/DC. I mean, I'm mostly pretty happy with this. So far, it's pretty good.
No, I'm happy with that list too.
Yeah, so we got through 10.
That's good.
Yeah, this shows we know how to talk. But,
yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll get back to this soon. But for now, we'll see you in the next one.
Hope you all enjoyed this episode and see you later.